Hi, I'm Anna, and this is Blaster Breakdown. Today, we'll have a look at a Mega Hotshock short dart mod. The Hotshock is a great blaster to work with, and you can get really good results with minimal effort. There are some kits available and other 3D printed options, but this one was a DIY job. It's got a turf redback 9kg spring, an anodized aluminium scar made by Spectre, and a brass breech with a twist. This one is great for single shot pistol rounds that we run at Bang, underneath the 150 FPS cap for our Superstock events. Let's have a look inside.
Thanks, Anna. So as we can see, the Hotshock is really quite a simple blaster. Internally we have the shell, the plunger, spring, catch assembly, plunger tube, and the mega barrel, plus the trigger and the brass barrel that I've added in. The spring I've got here is a turf redback 9kg spring. To replace the stock spring, you just need to pop off this white plastic plunger head. Then you can just swap the springs over and reattach the plunger head. I've got a nice thick Phillips head screw down through the inside of the plunger head into the shaft that holds it nice and tight. I've added some Teflon tape underneath the O-ring and given it a good amount of lube as well. The pull bar at the back is a bit narrow and not the easiest to use with a spring upgrade, so what I did was drill through with a 6mm drill bit and add a bit of 6mm steel rod through the centre, glued that in place, and put a bit of heat shrink on either end. And you can see in here the tip of the screw that goes through the plunger head, and some foam padding. This notch here is where the plunger catches on the catch when you prime it, so just when you're reassembling, you need to make sure that's pointing upwards. And that's all I've done to the plunger. At the front of the plunger tube there's the dart post and air restrictor for a mega dart. They just pop out really easy. And there's really nothing else to do to the plunger tube other than add some Teflon tape for a nice air seal. With the front mega barrel piece, I've got a length of 9/16 brass fixed in place. It's held front and back with whatever I had on hand really, just to pad out the space. Duct tape, PVC, epoxy, just whatever I needed to make it fit nice and tight front and back. And of course the dart loading window I've cut out through the orange plastic and the brass, and that lines up with the natural gap in the outer shell. And that's nice and smooth for easy loading. To help with the twisting mechanism, I've glued in a little piece of 17/32 brass. It's a bit under quarter of a rotation, maybe 10 mils deep, and that's held in place right at the back of the 9/16 brass there. The 17/32 barrel I've used is about 5 inches in length, and Spectre's scar is screwed onto some electrical tape wound around the end. And of course the hole cut for loading darts lines up exactly with the 9/16 brass. Here you can see where I've cut away 3/4 of the circumference of the brass, about 10mm deep. And the edges of this rest against the piece that I glued in the back of the 9/16 brass. And this limits how far the 17/32 brass can twist in either direction. So when I insert the front barrel, we can see that it'll stay open and stay closed, but not go any further in either direction with further twisting. And here's a close-up of that action. Reassembling then is just a matter of putting together the mega barrel and the plunger tube, making sure they're lined up. The plunger and spring assembly just goes in, make sure the notch is facing upwards for the catch. The catch spring fits in. I think I've used the stock catch spring here. And there's a little post that holds the plunger tube in place. The trigger fits over these two posts. And then you can reattach the left side of the shell. And there we are. Now the front barrel will slide in just as before. Confirm the twisting action works. Confirm that it catches. Nice. The last thing I've done is added a rubber grip for the handle. And so here we go, testing Mega Hotshock short dart mod, brass breech with a twist. That 137 was the lowest I had in this set of 10, and that 150 was the highest. Everything else is in the mid 140s, which is perfect for super stock. There we are. And now I'm firing at a target 50 feet away down the backyard. That's where my ducks sleep, behind me. That spreads okay, but not great. Single-handed use. I'll try another 6 with 2 hands. There's nowhere to attach an optic at the top, of course, so I'm just eyeballing it. But yeah, 2 hands for beginners is a much better policy. Much tighter grouping this time.
So there we have it, a brass breech short dart mod for a Mega Hotshock. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm going to try it again. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you enjoy our modding and gameplay videos, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Good?
Yep. Okay, and some still shots.